Hello everyone, my name is Gary Leung and I'm the Manager of Security and Facilitation here at ACI Asia-Pacific based in Hong Kong. If you are not familiar with ACI, we are an association representing the interests of airports across the world. Globally, we serve over 1,900 member airports, of which 600 plus are within Asia-Pacific and the Middle East. As the security expert at ACI Asia-Pacific, I've always wanted to raise more awareness of the importance of aviation security with not only security professionals, but also the wider aviation community. So this is why we have created a series of free videos which will be shown in September, looking into various security issues from a layman's perspective. We have named this video series Aviation Security Explained, and it is part of our September Security Month initiative. The objective of this video is not to go into technical detail of the subject, but to show you what all is involved. So if you are curious about aviation security, this is the perfect video for you. Without further ado, let's get started. In the coming few minutes, I will go through some of the basic elements of aviation security and briefly introduce what ACI is doing to help airport improve security. So have you ever wondered why we need to go through security screening every time we go onto the plane? Why do we have to spend time waiting in the line, then take everything out from our pockets and put our bags into the X-ray machine and get ourselves screened? The reason is simple. The purpose of aviation security is to safeguard civil aviation against acts of unlawful interference. Unfortunately, there have been instances in the past which make this necessary. As you can see on the screen, some examples of acts of unlawful interference include, for example, hijacking, aircraft being used as weapons like what happened 20 years ago in the 9/11 attacks, bombing either at the airport or aircraft, vehicle ramping, or shooting at the airport. Of course, there are many other examples of acts of unlawful interference, but I think now you get a sense that these are deliberate attacks trying to cause harm to people and jeopardize the civil aviation system. So to prevent all these acts of unlawful interference from happening, security measures are put in place to protect civil aviation across the world. These measures are heavily regulated. The baseline mandatory security regulation are set out in Annex 17 by ICAO, which is an UN specialized agency on civil aviation. These are then adopted at national level through each country's national civil aviation security program. And eventually, they will be cascaded down to the airport security program of each individual airport. So you may wonder, what exactly are airports doing in aviation security? I think the first reaction of many people, when they think of security, they think of screening of passenger and the carry-on baggage that is done at the airport security checkpoint. But in most cases, what you see at the security checkpoint is only one part of the scope of airport security. Airports around the world, no matter big or small, are actually applying multi-layers of security measures across the airport to protect passengers and assets from potential attacks by perpetrators or terrorists. So apart from passenger and baggage screening, airports are actually doing a lot more behind the scene. For example, all your checked baggage is thoroughly screened before being loaded onto the aircraft. The scope of airport security usually includes also access control and permit management, patrolling at airside and landside, security checking for all persons and vehicles going into the restricted area, performing surveillance or behavior detection to identify suspicious behaviors, and screening of airport staff going into the airside, of course, as well as perimeter and landside protection. So you can tell this is a lot more than what an average passenger sees. So because of the importance of aviation security, it has always been a necessary part of the airport journey. Every passenger, you and me, has to go through security before they can get onto the plane. It is a process you cannot escape from. And if you are an airport employee, there are similar measures in place as well. Even though most of us haven't traveled much during the pandemic, you may have heard how airports are automating more and more airport processes and making them fully self-service. Just think about check-in, backdrop, border control, and boarding. But you may wonder why there isn't a fully self-service security process yet. This actually tells you something unique about aviation security. It actually tells you that human beings are still indispensable in aviation security. There are still a lot of areas where technology simply cannot replace human for now. For example, technology doesn't know how to handle an unattended bag at the airport, or how to identify suspicious behavior, and technology doesn't have the ability to respond to a crisis. This is exactly why ICAO continues to promote security culture. They even designate this year, the year of 2021, as the year of security culture. The objective of this ICAO campaign is to raise security awareness among all stakeholders within the aviation community and try to promote the idea that security is everyone's responsibility. And this video series is part of the ACI Initiatives to support the ICAO campaign. So let's turn now to what ACI does to help airport members on aviation security. In a nutshell, we assist airports through 4 initiatives, which I will elaborate on in the coming few slides. First, we have the Regional Aviation Security Committee. The committee was established in 2007 and is now comprised of 27 security experts from airports in Asia-Pacific and the Middle East. The group meets on a regular basis with an objective to help airport improve security level by sharing operational best practices as well as working with policymakers and governments on different security topics. Personally, as the secretary to the committee, I'm happy to see the growing synergy of the group. We have also been able to successfully influence ICAO and policymakers on certain issues and make regulation more relevant to today's airport operation. Secondly, ACI does produce different security guidance documents based on the need of our members. These documents are specifically intended for our members and other stakeholders in the industry. You may refer to the links on the slide or in the description section of this video on our YouTube channel to access the guidance document. Thirdly, we provide security trainings to our airport members. At ACI, we offer an airport security diploma, and we also have a number of certificate courses on different security topics. Of course, with COVID-19, we have also provided a lot more online courses on security as well. Again, if you are interested, you may refer to the link on the slide to learn more about our security trainings. Last but not least, we do have an airport assessment program called APEX in security. APEX stands for Airport Excellence. APEX in security is not an audit, but rather it is a peer review airport helping airport type of program. The aim of the program is to help airports enhance security by improving compliance with ICAO regulations and adopting industry best practices. The program is free of charge. The host airport conducting the review only needs to pay for the air ticket and accommodation for the assessor during the review period. So that's a very quick overview of what we have to offer in security. There will be 2 more videos in our Aviation Security Explained series throughout the September Security Month. Next, I will talk about the evolving nature of security, followed up by the impacts of COVID-19 on aviation security. So if you have questions, feel free to leave your comment below or contact me directly by email or by phone. In the meantime, stay tuned, stay safe, and see you next time.